Stop scrolling. This one discovery is quietly rewriting history, and you don't even realize it. You're out in the forest, chasing rumors of hidden paths when a stone door beneath the silver leaf thicket. The moment your hand touches its cold surface, a whisper of wind shivers through the trees. That's the first sign. Something ancient is watching you. If you think every cave is just a dark hole with a few bats, think again. In that damp corridor, goblins know, not the cartoonish kind, but the Karnath tribe stand guard over a hoard of treasure, whose origin feels like a secret held by the stars themselves. The stakes, your curiosity, your respect for other cultures, and the fragile ecosystem that could be lost if you rush in with greed. Picture this. Tim, a young adventurer with a detective's instinct, steps into a world where every stone tells a story. He meets chieftains who speak in riddles, scouts who move like shadows, smiths forging metal under flickering torchlight, and shamans chanting to unseen spirits. The cavern hums with the low buzz of black glass relics that glow faintly even without fire. Your first encounter is hostile. A goblin lunges at you with a silver dagger, eyes wide, voice sharp as a blade. You realize the wrong move would seal your fate, but then you remember the detective in you. Observe, adapt, respect. You offer a piece of your own silver dagger, an old family heirloom, and share half of your meal. The goblin pauses, sniffs, and nods slowly. A temporary alliance forms, just enough for Tim to peer deeper into the cave. The treasure is not ordinary gold. There are coins stamped with symbols that look like constellations, jeweled artifacts that seem carved from living stone, and black glass relics that pulse with faint luminescence. Among them sit the Eclipsing Orbs, tiny spheres that shift color under moonlight, rumored to be key components of an ancient ritual. The origin of these items is a puzzle. Some say they come from a forgotten civilization. Others think goblin craftsmen forged them as bait. You'll see how Tim's perspective shifts from antagonist to collaborator. He learns the Karnath's customs, their hierarchy, and their fear of being exploited. By showing respect, offering a silver dagger, sharing food, he bridges the gap between two worlds that could have stayed forever apart. This is the heart of the story. Mutual respect can transform conflict into cooperation. Now let's walk through Tim's adventure in detail. 1. The hidden entrance. The stone door is carved with vines and symbols that glow faintly when wet. Tim feels a chill as he pushes it open, stepping into darkness lit only by his torch. The air smells of damp earth and ancient incense. Action. He pulls out his notebook, scribbles the carvings, and records the temperature drop. 2. First contact. A goblin scout darts across the tunnel, eyes narrowed. Tim holds up his silver dagger, a silent offering. The goblin stops, sniffs, then steps back with caution. Action. Tim shares half of his stew, inviting conversation without aggression. 3. The goblin hierarchy. Inside, chieftains sit on carved stone thrones, each wearing a different color cloak indicating their role: scout, smith, shaman. The chief speaks in riddles that echo through the cavern. Action. Tim listens intently, noting the symbolic colors and their meanings. 4. The black glass relics. Rows of black glass emit a faint blue glow, reflecting off stone walls. Some shards look like tiny mirrors, others resemble prisms. Their origin is debated. Are they natural or crafted? Action. Tim uses his infrared camera to scan the relics for heat signatures. 5. Eclipsing orbs. Small spheres sit on pedestals, shifting color as moonlight filters through a crack in the cave roof. They're said to be part of an ancient ritual that could open portals. Action. Tim records the orb's color changes with his DSLR and notes the timing. 6. Cultural exchange. The goblins teach Tim how to read their symbols, showing him patterns carved into the walls that tell stories of their ancestors. In return, he explains human tools like a compass. Action. They exchange artifacts, a goblin's polished stone tool for a human compass. 7. The debate over authenticity. Scholars argue whether the treasure is genuine or fabricated by goblins to mislead outsiders. Tim records testimonies from both sides, noting inconsistencies and biases. Action. He sets up a controlled experiment using non-invasive scanning techniques to test authenticity. 8. Goblin writes some critics say Tim's presence violates Goblin sovereignty. The detective in him notes that respecting autonomy is key. Tim negotiates an agreement, limited access for study, protection of the cave's ecosystem. Action, he drafts a simple treaty, signing with both human and goblin leaders. 9. Environmental ethics. The cave houses fragile fungi and rare insects. Excessive looting could destroy this ecosystem. Tim maps the area carefully, avoiding disturbing key habitats. Action. He sets up motion sensor cameras to monitor wildlife without intruding. 10. Scientific methodology. Some argue that Tim's narrative style introduces bias. He counters by keeping detailed logs, using objective measurements and cross-checking with local experts. Action. He publishes preliminary findings in an open-access journal, inviting peer review. 11. Controlled excavation proposal. Universities propose a joint venture to map the cave, catalog artifacts, and study black glass relics non-invasively. Tim leads the initiative, ensuring Goblin participation. Action. He organizes a field team, including anthropologists, archaeologists, and ethicists. 12. Conservation efforts. A protective barrier is planned around the entrance to reduce human impact while allowing controlled access for scholars. The goblins help design it using natural materials that blend with the environment. Action. Tim oversees construction, ensuring minimal ecological disturbance. 13. Public engagement and education. A monograph will detail Tim's expedition and the goblin culture, raising awareness of the region's heritage. He plans a virtual tour for students worldwide. Action. He records, interviews goblin leaders, and shares stories on social media. 14. Potential tourism. If managed responsibly, the cave could become an educational tourist destination, providing economic benefits to both human and goblin communities. Tim drafts guidelines to protect cultural integrity while fostering sustainable tourism. Action. He collaborates with local businesses to create guided tours that respect goblin customs. 15. The final reveal. After months of research, Tim discovers a hidden chamber where the eclipsing orbs are arranged in a circle. When moonlight hits them, they emit a pulse that seems to resonate with the cave's stone, perhaps a key to ancient technology or a protective spell. Action. He records the phenomenon live, sharing it with the world and goblin elders alike. We're halfway through. The rest is where it gets interesting. Now, one more thing before we wrap up. Tim realizes that every artifact has a story, a whisper of history, a voice from another time. By listening carefully, he learns to respect not just the artifacts but the people who guard them. He also sees how fragile the balance between curiosity and exploitation can be. If you found this story intriguing, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next chapter where Tim uncovers the true purpose of the eclipsing orbs. Comment, "I want to know more about goblin culture" below. Don't forget to subscribe to Kitten Tech, and we love you.